Have you ever like thought about something so much? Have you ever thought about something so much that it begins not to make sense? Like I do that a lot. So like I'll do like when I because I swim, right? And when you're swimming, you're not really thinking. You're just swimming. You're going this way in a pool and that way in a pool for 2 hours straight, and so it gets bored, right? So you just think of random stuff. But you end up thinking about something so much. One of these things that I did this with was short stories. Or not really like short stories, but like those classic short stories that you read as a kid. I was thinking about like a bunch of them, right? Like like Little Red Riding Hood, Cinderella. Yeah, those are the main three I thought about because I don't really know that many classic stories. But anyway, so I was thinking about like those, right? And you're thinking about, this doesn't make any sense. These stories that they're telling us don't make any sense. Let's take Little Red Riding Hood, for example, right? So what it's about? It's about a girl who, for some reason, she goes to her grandma's house. I don't have the full story because I haven't read it so long ago. But she goes to her grandma's house, right? And then there's a wolf poses as her grandma, pretending to be her grandma, just by wearing a little hat and like the grandma's clothes in her bed. And grandma, for some reason, is not eaten. Or is she eaten by the wolf? I don't know. There's a bunch of versions of it. One she's stuck in the closet. One she's eaten by the wolf. But okay, whatever. So then, yeah. So there's that, right? So Little Red Riding Hood goes to the grandma's house, where she finds the wolf posed up as the grandma, and she can't tell that that's not the wolf. She can't tell that's not the grandma until the wolf goes to eat her. And I'm like, so I thought about that, and I was like, okay. So first off, if she can't tell that a wolf is not a grandma, she deserves to get eaten by the wolf because, no, that is what we call survival of the fittest, right? If you're that stupid, and no offense to Red Riding Hood, whatever, I don't actually know her real name, but if you're that stupid that you get eaten by a wolf and dressed up as your grandma, and she can't tell that it's not her grandma, and she deserves to be eaten. And then later on in the story, well, the story that I read, was that the hunter comes and saves them somehow. I didn't get that either. Okay, if they're eaten by the wolf, all the stomach acid and everything should have killed them already. They wouldn't be there anymore. So they're dead. They're dead. As soon as they eat, they're dead. So now little kids think they can go run around, get eaten by wolves, and what, come out alive again? That's not how the world works. So like, what do short stories tell us? Yeah, they entertain us, but I don't know. I feel like they're sending the wrong message to kids. They send a message. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. Okay, anyway, next story. Cinderella, right? So Cinderella is about a girl. In case you didn't read Cinderella, then you should actually go read it. Because, yeah. Yeah, Cinderella is a story about a girl, her two stepsisters, and her stepmother, who all hate this girl because, I don't know why, I guess because she's pretty and they're not. And then they make her work a lot, and then there ends up being like a ball where the prince wants to find his true love, but Cinderella's not supposed to go, but she ends up going anyway because of a fairy. A fairy does stuff for her. She makes all these clothes for her and everything, and then they go to the ball, and she finds a prince, and she falls in love with him, and he falls in love with her. But then at 12, apparently, her clothes disappears. Doesn't really disappear. She gets her own clothes back, but that's not the point. But then, for some reason, everything but her glass slipper disappears, and then the prince finds a glass slipper and goes around town. It's not like... Yeah, the prince goes around town with the glass slipper and tries to find people to give it to who have the same shoe size. But you see, I see his... Oh yeah, and he ends up finding Cinderella because she has the same shoe size. And he puts it on her, and they live happily ever after. And yeah, there's no mention of the stepsisters or stepmother anymore, but from what I heard they got their eyes pecked out by birds and lived as beggars. But that was in like the real version, not the kids' version. I'm talking about the kids' versions here. Anyway, so then we have the prince here, right? First off, I think his plan is very flawed. I don't think you call every girl to your castle to find the true bride. I don't think that's how you meet people. I think you have to actually talk to them face to face for a while, and he only did it with one girl, so I don't think that's a good idea. And I don't think his idea of finding his girl after she left is a great idea either. I mean, people have the same shoe size. It's just what happens. And I don't think really like the glass slipper thing made sense, basically. So if you have a magical spell that makes all your clothes disappear, and your pumpkin that turned into a whatever disappear, and everything disappeared, then I don't know why the glass slipper would stay unless you're to add to the plot. But yeah, that's basically it. They're basically, like I said, if you think about it a lot, it actually starts not to make sense. But if you don't think about it, you just read it once, it makes sense. And I have no clue where I was going with that. I don't know, I just told you a story. But basically what I'm trying to say is that don't think about things too much. Because you end up thinking about it too much, ends up not making sense, and then you get all sad. So, yeah, the less thinking you do, the better. Unless you want to be a sad person, then keep thinking.